In this Lord of the Rings Rise to War video, we're going to talk about the unique equipment that is available only starting in Season 2. This equipment is very expensive to obtain and is unique to a commander. So it's not flexible. It can only be used on the one commander. So stick around in this video for everything you need to know. How to unlock this equipment, how expensive is it to actually build up, and is it even worth it? Hello my friends and welcome back. I'm Chisgule Gaming, and in this video we're breaking down the unique equipment that is available starting in Season 2. Now to even get access to this equipment for a commander, you have to get to Respect level 10, which is crazy. That is a very difficult thing to achieve. In fact, I've only done that on one commander. If you have not achieved Respect level 10, when you tap the little button in the bottom center of the screen, it'll take you to this grayed out version showing you, hey, there's this thing that this commander can use once they get higher respect level. But if you wanted to know, what are these respect items anyways? What exactly do they do? If you make your way over to your tavern and then go to recruit commander, if you open up any commander that you see on the screen and make your way over to the stats section, it will show you the unique item that is available for this commander. Now, good news for players that are free to play is that although in some cases these items are very good, in many cases these items are so restrictive. Not only can you only use them on the one commander, but they have very targeted and overtuned effects in my estimation, such that, like, for example, this really cool piece of gear for Haldir makes it so that only elven units gain initiative and defense only when battling on wood-producing lands. I mean, like, okay, I guess, but that feels very constraining, doesn't it? That leaves you like level 1 tiles and wood tiles, right? So all of that to say that some of the equipment is overtuned to the point that, like, I guess it's good in the scenarios where it's good, but it's not so amazing in the scenarios where it's, like, not relevant at all. But perhaps I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself here. Let's talk about how you unlock this equipment and what that process is even like. So I took a commander to respect level 10, that is Eowyn, and now I actually can unlock Rohan's Refuge. Now, this particular item also feels like one of those very overtuned items that I probably am not going to go for, which is a little bit of a bummer. This makes it so that in the first 4 rounds, your melee units take less damage from ranged units. Well, if your enemy's not using any ranged units, that's not very relevant. Also, it's constrained to army defensive men. I mean, it's just very constrained with what you can do with this particular item. But once you actually have respect level 10, when you go to the commander screen and you go to that commander, when I select menu in the bottom center, boom, I get this separate menu with quests. So now there's something new. So there are several quests I have to do here. One is complete the unique task of Eowyn, which we'll do together. The other is no more staying behind, conscripting mounted units, and then slaying giants, defeat 1,000 large units. And you'll notice to even unlock this sucker, I need to have this special material right over here, raw mithril. Let's talk about this mithril thing now because it's not cheap. So mithril is available to you in a number of ways and at a number of qualities. The place that I'm going to show it to you is in the Matham section, and then I go to the exchange up top. And if I scroll to the right, you can see I can buy this with gems. There are ways to get it without spending gems, but the raw mithril, impure mithril, and pure mithril are for the different tiers, at least it's my understanding, of rarity of commander. So a T2 commander, I think, uses the epic items, and a T3 commander uses the legendary items. So this is a lot of gems to commit to even getting this item. A lot of gems, like a shocking amount of gems. Now, there are other ways that you can get these items, and this does, I think, refresh every single day. One way that you can get these items is to go into the tavern, and when you smash your way over to the tips, every single day you should get a collecting mithril quest, and maybe there are some quests for more rare levels of mithril. I'm not sure yet, haven't gotten one yet. And also there are places like your season journey, where you can go and get some of those as well. At least I thought there was. Did I get some from here? I'm pretty sure. There they are, up top. So you can get these as well, just completing your challenges. And the epic ones, of course, are available in the paid tier. And, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, if you are spending in Lord of the Rings Rise to War, the $15 that you spend for the season pass is really, really good value compared to any other bundle that you're going to buy. But I'm diverting from the main topic a little bit, which is to say there's a couple of ways to get this mithril, whether you're doing it free to play, which will take time, or you're doing it pay to win, which is a mega yikes. It's pricey, and there may be some bundles at some point, I assume, that offer this, although I don't see any here now. So making my way back to that journey to improving the item, or even unlocking the item, I should say, on my Eowyn, let's head back over here. One final thing I'll mention before we do this unique task, by the way, is that my understanding is that in order to actually refine this, normally you would need more of the same item, but in this case, you just need lots of freaking mithril. That's my understanding. Could be wrong. Anyways, and to actually strengthen it so that you can refine it, you still need legendaries of the same type. So to strengthen Rohan's Refuge, which is an accessory, I would need another accessory to shred, and that's just at the lowest level, right? And I think it takes more and more and more the higher level it gets. So it's a very daunting process, but look at this. I am no man. I have to complete a special quest, a special task, okay? Use the units you unlocked to complete the unique tasks. I'm going to smash the start button. I have no clue how this is going to go. I'm going to assume that I want mounted units, right? That seems good. Knights and, I mean, I would just use cavalry archers and do it like that. Is this the way? I've got a lot of units here. Hopefully mistakes are not punished. Oh, okay. Okay. This is interesting. This is definitely interesting. Can I change the units that she has throughout this? Let's find out here. Can I? No. And no. I just gotta use what I've got here. Oh, wow. Okay, this is very interesting. Well, now that I've seen this, I have to reach the last land tile and defeat the boss. It says that in the upper right. Which of these do I think is more conquerable? Perhaps it is these armor breakers, or is it these mounted units? These are tier 3 raiders. Oh boy. Damage received is reduced. Oh, and they do damage against mounted units. Yeah, I don't want to do that. So I want to fight this guy over here because it doesn't have a bonus damage to mounted units, which is very awkward. And let's see how this goes. The even distribution of knights and bowmen maybe is not the best choice. Also, I have no clue what build is on my Eowyn. I mean, like, what level is Eowyn anyways? I don't know. Let's back out. We'll just skip that. You don't need to see it. I mean, I got pretty beat up there. I don't know. Oh, boy. There are large units at the end here. This could definitely suck. I don't know, man. Now, my Eowyn is level 18. This might be the problem. I showed her at level 18. I think I just might need to be leveled up more in order to do this. Oh, yeah. There's no way I'm going to get this done. I think I'm going to have to do this further along in the season journey once I've leveled her up a bit more. That seems like that's going to be the case. If I proceed just a little bit further here, we'll see that happen. There's a refresh button, and I'm eager to see if that's like you get 1 refresh per day, just like the Red Book of Westmarch. It feels like that's going to be the case. GG. And it looks like it's only letting you use units that you've actually unlocked. That also seems like it's potentially the case. Yeah. Awkward. So awkward. Failed to occupy. And at this point, I think I've got to do it all over again. So, in order to knock this out, I'm going to have Eowyn leveled up a bit. And if I smash the refresh button, it gives me the option to reset. I don't think it's going to take gems, but we'll find out in a second. Once I actually get home, and I see if I can't outfit my army here, then we'll smash the refresh button and see what happens. But big picture, commanders have quests. Presumably, every commander has a special task, like the one I'm just doing here, and that special task is not going to be achievable potentially early on, which, like, yep, I'm tapping, but I can't do anything to refresh her, so I can hit reset. Okay, the task is reset, and yes, these are, in fact, I can confirm, only the units I have unlocked, and if I tap into them, it does look like they are exactly the number of investments in the skills that I've done as well. So this is just something that's going to be way easier further on. And yes, it is level 18 Eowyn. I didn't notice that earlier. GG. Okay. So I can't knock out I Am No Man now. In fact, I'm nowhere near getting Eowyn done. That is going to be a while, both to get the Mithril and to even be able to do that task in the first place. But you may be wondering, Chisgule, which of these items are even worth doing? Because you just explained that some of them are very overtuned. So which ones are just like generally very good? And shockingly, the commander that I am most hyped about for T1, and thank you to my Alliance members who pointed this out, is Faramir. Believe it or not, and this is what I feel like these items should be doing, is making commanders that might be less relevant much stronger and more relevant. It's a balance opportunity, I feel. But what does this do? The Ranger's Cape. It's really all about this last piece here, the ambush. The first 2 rounds, Faramir and allied ranged units gain initiative, so they attack first and get bonus damage. So this turns Faramir into like a mini Witch King. And if you didn't see my video about that, I'll have a card up in the top where I run through in detail why Witch King is so powerful and what he does. I mean, he basically stuns a bunch of stuff in the first rounds and does a bunch of damage. So if we look at his portrait over here, Faramir can do some cool stuff in the first couple rounds. Starting right away, he can do a lot of damage, and all units gain initiative after he uses this ability, which is really cool. So he can get initiative in subsequent rounds and do a lot of damage. He does a bunch of physical damage. Also, there's another damage ability. Guide makes it so that in the first 2 rounds, the physical damage is boosted, and while damage is increased, he gains stun immunity. So he's immune to stun, and he's going to have initiative, and he's going to do a lot of damage. First 4 rounds, you can ignore the avoidance effects, and over here, you do damage, and actually, wow, allied unit recovery, armed escort, let's go. And then you get a stacking defense boost over here, then get a damage boost. Okay, and there's a might and speed. So there's the possibility here that you could do a lot of front-loaded damage and maybe have like a mini Witch King with Faramir. I don't know if that's true. Haven't used it, haven't fought it, but that does sound compelling. Also, Dwalin was shared with me as a commander that's got a pretty good item here. That is the Twin Axes, making it so that normal attacks have a 20% chance of dealing extra damage. Seems good. Honestly, seems good. The thing that I'll point out here that I just want to caution you around is like, okay, so you get this item. That's cool that you got the item. But the problem, again, is that it's going to be constrained to that slot on that commander. We'll get a look at one more item over here. Let's go to Ori. Someone was saying that his item actually looks pretty good. The Dwarven Slingshot. Round 4 and onwards. Allied Dwarves. Dwarven ranged units. Wow. Have a 50% chance of causing maximum damage. Oh, see, that's a interesting, unique effect, right? Dwarven ranged units have a 50% chance of causing maximum damage. That sort of thing that changes the way a commander operates or their army operates is actually very compelling. And if we just get a look in the barracks here, we can see, oh yeah, baby, these guys have a huge range. The axe throwers, and this is the T2, but I'm sure it's true for the T3, have a huge range of damage here. And I guess I can show you. I can probably show you the highest one. There it is. So the ability to make them cause maximum damage is actually really, really good. So that's the kind of equipment that I get excited about. It actually meaningfully changes the way that the combat could unfold. I'm like, dude, like, wow, that is a big DPS increase. Big DPS increase for those Dwarven ranged units. And it's like, dude, there's only one Dwarven ranged unit. So they may as well have just said axe throwers, but I guess they're opening up the possibility of other Dwarven ranged units. Or are they saying dwarves and ranged units, which would be even better? So that item's really good, potentially. Gosh, is that dwarves and ranged units? I don't actually know. Leave a comment down below with how you think that works, okay? Now, at higher tiers, other commanders have really great items as well. Some better than others. I haven't taken the time to look through all of these, so that's something that we could do together in a separate video if you think it's interesting. I will point out, since pretty much everybody uses Gandalf, that his item here is, of course, a smoking pipe. And it gives focus and army hit points. And the damage received is reduced when you have an army comprised of 3 different races. And while that is cool, many of you will be looking at this and think, wait a minute, if you're playing good, I've already invested in something that's better than that. So I'm going to do all this work to get this item that ultimately isn't all that much better, or isn't better at all than what I already have until it gets upgraded a bunch. And I will say, yes, that is probably true. Again, focus plus 22, 1 army hit points, and the damage received is reduced by 2.5%. But you have a downside. Your army has to be comprised of 3 different races. Well, gee, let me show you what I'm using on my Gandalf already, okay? Here's my Gandalf over here. And I'm a little embarrassed about the weapon and the armor. I get some mixed feelings over here. But look at this. I get a smoking pipe that's 4 stars, 3 of which are gold. And it's already got 37 focus, man. And every 2 rounds, all allies recover 25.3% of hit points. Modified by focus stat. So, I don't know. These items are exciting when they dramatically change the way a commander performs. But like the item I was just showing on Gandalf, it doesn't change the way he performs. It's not transformative. It makes him tankier. But he already was tanky. And it was good. It's a good item. But I think, given the rarity of these items and how difficult it is to obtain them, first of all, most free-to-play players don't need to worry too much, because there's not going to be many pay-to-win players even running around with these things. And second of all, so many of them are so narrow in their focus, I don't think we need to worry about them too much, except for a few that are like really quite compelling. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I personally am probably not going for one of these anytime soon, but maybe my tune will change. I kind of want to, I don't know. Like, I mean, I would love to be able to break commanders that people don't think are very good, which is a very dangerous way to play the game, because if you're wrong, then you get wrecked. But I'd love to try to take Eowyn and do some stuff with him, but I don't know. Getting this weapon, like, it doesn't, unfortunately, buy me all that much. His army gains the following effects. Increase his next damage dealt by 10% when your speed's high enough. And allied mounted units have priority in attacking enemy ranged units. That's kind of cool. Like, you can take out ranged units, like really wreck them. There's maybe some cool things you can do with him, but I don't know. Leave a comment with the cool equipment that you think will be game-changing. I will check it out. I will read your comments. And until next time, you have fun smashing your enemies.